Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be speaking about the 1943D War Nickel and explaining which ones of these are going to be super rare and collectors are after. There's a fair amount actually on these 43D War Nickels that you should be aware of, so I'll be getting into some of the variety information, some error history, conditional rarities, really everything that there is to think about when it comes to one of these coins. You don't want to miss out, and you want to figure out if you've got something that's worth a good bit of money. All of them are obviously going to have that 35% silver content unless they're struck on a wrong planchet. But let's get right into the video and explain everything you need to know. This video is sponsored by Whatnot, a live streaming auctions and shopping app where I regularly sell coins and banknotes of all types, including US, world, errors, varieties, silver, gold, ancients, and more. And don't forget to use my link in the description to get a free $10 off on your first order on anything on the platform. Let's get into the video. We'll dive right into this 1943D Jefferson World War II War Nickel, and as you can see, there's a prominent D min mark above Monticello, though all 1943 War Nickels are going to have that base value due to their 35% silver composition. You can stop here for a little bit more information on this whole series, but we'll start with the first double die obverse. It's really minor, but you can see a little bit of a spread in the In God We Trust in the lettering, sort of a medium spread all across the lettering, but pretty challenging to see in my opinion. So it's probably not going to be something that the beginner collectors are going to want to search for, but it's the only known and recognized one by Kaneka, and doesn't have huge price history. I think this one is a lot easier to see. There's 4 different types of double die reverses, so some of them are more on the thickness style in Pluribum, but the main one, or the easiest to see, I think, is this clear one with clear spread. I don't even know if that's maybe tripling, but super clear shelves in the bottom of the M, top notches of the U in the M, and instead of like a Unk coin being worth like $7, can at least double your money, but it's also just a fun treasure hunt along the way. Some of the more well-known, well-recognized varieties is going to include this 1943D Jefferson nickel repunched mint mark, just super clear under the main part of the Denver mint mark. It probably didn't take for whatever reason the first time that it was punched, so the punch happened again, and this is the result. And here we see, a mint state 65 instead of again being like a $7 or $8 coin, it's $125 AU. This can be found on coins that have been pretty worn down, which is a little bit different from some of the other repunchment marks. This one can only be sent to NGC or ANAX, whereas PCGS recognizes the previous one because it's in the Cherry Picker's Guide, but here it's more of a tilted repunched mint mark, and there's going to be actually 16 different ones that don't have very much price history, don't have a lot of value. Often it's like a slight tilting where there's like a little separation in the top left of the mint mark, or here I guess it's more firm all throughout the stem or the base of the D, or just whatever the left part of it is, the straight part. And then in terms of some of the conditional rarities, full steps is you're going to want to be looking for clear separation of these steps with not too many deep nicks, and there's some more strict guidelines, stringent ones, but you need to grade mint state 68 or I guess 67 to make it worth grading in most cases, but probably going to want to shoot for 7+ or 8 unless you have full steps, in which case you should probably grade it if it's a nice mint state coin. But there were only 15 million of these made, which is much smaller than a lot of the counterparts from nearby years. And then there are some really interesting errors, like the struck on a copper nickel planchet one. Now, remember that World War II, things were just crazy at the mint. So, this one sold for $1,800 and was struck just on the totally wrong planchet. But there's also some other even crazier ones, like we were making coins for Australia, so we struck this on an Australian 6p planchet, which would have been at 92.5% silver. This only sold for $1,000. I think it was worn a little bit, and you're not going to find this in your pocket change, but it looks like somebody did and had a good eye, figured that something was off. The lettering on the Obverse was peeling right off of or stretching beyond the rim, and saved it. And then here, more obvious to the novice collector, $170, struck 10% off center. Though it looks like, kind of the lettering expands and looks broad struck, but it's technically off center. This one is another good error find. It's always fun to just show different parts of the collection so that you really have a good understanding of, at what point are these things valuable? What can I look for on these coins? It's not going to be on every coin. That's why these are rare and valuable and collected. But it's really fun to be here learning about these with you and presenting it to you in this moment. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Treasure Town, and get in touch with me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, check out my website, treasuretowncoins.com, for news and updates related to the channel and collectibles in general. Lastly, there's a link tree in the description with links to all of my other sites, as well as some affiliate links that can support the channel. But with that being said, have a great day, and I'll hope to see you on some of my videos in the future.